We all want our roads to be safe, and this is whether or not it's humans or AI systems behind the wheels. But what lengths are you willing to go to? What are you willing to give up if it means safer roads? Would you let your car manufacturer record the inside of your car? You, specifically, while you drive? Today we have this from Tesla. Drivers interested in accessing Tesla's full self-driving beta will now have to submit images and videos of themselves to the company in the event of a collision or other serious safety event. I'm a software developer with over 20 years in tech, but even though I've dedicated my life to the pursuit of technology, lately I actually find myself wanting to use less and less of it. Whether it's big tech censorship, a social media mental health crisis, or the complete loss of our privacy, I'm done. So I call myself Techphobe here on YouTube, where I call out issues with my industry and I share tips on how you can protect yourself. So hit like, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications because I wouldn't want you to miss an episode. Here's the message some Tesla drivers saw. By enabling FSD Beta, that's full self-drive, I consent to Tesla's collection of VIN-associated image data from the vehicle's external cameras and Kobrin camera in the occurrence of a serious safety risk or a safety event like a collision. Though some Tesla vehicles already use the front-facing camera for driver monitoring, the inclusion of the VIN-associated image data language potentially means that Tesla can link the footage with an individual driver. There have been some alarming reports recently of Tesla cars crashing on autopilot. And if Tesla and other tech companies are going to develop self-driving vehicles, then they absolutely need to figure out what's happening when they crash. And I think I can speak for all of us when I say that some sort of black box like they have in airplanes is 100% called for. But how do you feel about your car video recording you while you drive, and then sending that information to the manufacturer? And more to the point, how do you feel about your car having critical systems connected to the internet? Going back as far as 2015, Wired.com published an article about how a Jeep can be hacked remotely, allowing an attacker to use the internet in order to turn on the Jeep's AC, blast music, and even disable the brakes and transmission. We've come a long way since 2015. And Tesla's self-driving cars have way more systems than a 2015 Jeep. We're talking loads of sensors, cameras, and control systems, all connected to various critical systems like the wheels and the axles and the brakes and the accelerator, the fuel injection. I mean, you name it, it's all hooked up to a computer, and this computer is connected to the internet, meaning that people, whether it's Tesla engineers or someone else, can potentially talk to that system.
Okay, all right, car's dead at the top of a hill, and I feel like this is a roller coaster ride gone wrong. I'm now going backwards, the brakes are dead, the car is dead, the engine won't start. And you can do this from outside the car?
I can do it from a mile away.
Oh.
What are we opening ourselves up to when it comes to our security and our privacy here? Tesla's in-cabin monitoring system speaks to a larger emerging issue around the trade-offs between driver safety and personal privacy, especially as the auto industry moves to integrate more autonomous-ish features. The electric vehicle maker began rolling out in-cabin driver monitoring systems in its Model 3 and Model Y vehicles back in March, following an increase in reports claiming the company wasn't doing enough to ensure autopilot users were keeping their hands on the steering wheel. Tesla had previously relied on steering wheel inputs to determine if a driver's hands were on the wheel, but that was easily spoofed by drivers and safety groups who were able to trick the system with simple everyday objects like water bottles and tape. So is it a self-driving car or is it human operated? That's the question we're dealing with right now. Because we all know that the dream is to be completely autonomous, but we're just not there yet. Not there in terms of the tech, and not there in terms of the laws. So Tesla needs to make sure that its early adopters are not leaving the system completely unsupervised, and there lies the problem. At this stage, the reality is that we can't trust the AI or the human owners. And since that's becoming apparent, Tesla is looking for ways to keep tabs on the humans. It's turning our own property into a surveillance device. And we're being told, as always, that it's for the greater good. Anytime a video is being recorded, it can be accessed later, Davison said. There may be legal protections around who can access it and how, but there's always the possibility that insurance companies, police, regulators, and other parties in accidents will be able to obtain the data. Or Tesla employees, or hackers, or stalkers, or anyone with a will and an interest, because when there's a will, there's always a way. What remains to be seen, though, is whether companies will follow Tesla's data collection route or opt for more limited alternatives. The issue of whether drivers can meaningfully consent to this type of collection could also grow more complicated, especially in the US, where states are beginning to adopt their own, sometimes divergent data privacy laws. If my experience is anything to go by, companies will always opt to collect more and more data about you, because data is the new oil. Not only can they sell the data, but it's also extremely valuable to them internally to be able to gain insights into consumer behavior and activity. As bandwidth, storage, and CPU power all become cheaper and more powerful, it's way too tempting for companies to just lean on collecting and keeping as much data as they possibly can. Because even if they don't know how to monetize it today, it doesn't hurt to just store it in case they figure out how later. But what do you think? How do we keep our roads safe while also preserving our privacy and security in the age of self-driving cars? Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up, and please share it around. And if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do that now. So until next time, this is why I'm becoming a tech phobe.